Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawudah, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHIM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great MILLSTONE that taught us this truth and that ruled well. And salutation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to touch on this here situation with this Colorado school shooting, all right? Because as we see more and more of these things happen, you know what I'm saying, it's almost like a normal occurrence now, you know, and these different things that's popping off with these mass shootings and things like that. All right. Now, one of the main things that I wanted to point out with this whole situation is more or less just the the difference of how these cases are being handled. All right. Depending on basically, you know, for lack of a better term, the skin color of these people. All right. So if you notice, all right, one of the things I'm going to point out into this lesson is going to be based around, they're not in trouble like other men are, all right? But nevertheless, as you can see in these different scenarios, every time that there's a shooting, right, you can have a, so-called black people shooting, right? Or, you know, maybe let's say one person got shot or something like that, you know, or maybe one person got stabbed or something like that, you know? Then they'll wind up saying, oh, this was the most heinous crime, and this was, you know, such a now if it was an Arab person or something like that, you know, they automatically call it an act of terrorism. All right. Let's say, you know, like I think that there was a situation where somebody went up into a mosque and like one person was actually injured. You know what I'm saying? Or like one person was either like stabbed or something like that. And, you know, that was pretty much the only injury. But they was like, oh, this was an act of terrorism. All right. But yet and still you can have these Edomites. All right. These so-called white boys, they go up into a school and they wind up having a school shooting. But yet these aren't acts of terrorism, all right? You know, you have, you know, they keep telling you, oh, this was the largest school shooting that we've had in American history. Every time they talk about those situations and how horrible these situations are, they never call them acts of terrorism. Why? Because the shooters are always so-called white people, all right? They don't want you to get that image into your mind that the people that are doing these things are so-called white people, all right? This is one of Esau Edom's weapons of one of his blessings is his deceitful tongue. All right, he has two swords. He was blessed with two swords, that military arm and that deceitful ass tongue. All right, but nevertheless, as you can see, you know, one of the things that Esau likes to do, like I said, is he like to demonize the individual in the situation, no matter what the situation is. I can go back to the Trayvon Martin situation. All right, now Zimmerman might actually be a Jake. I don't know, but nevertheless, you know, in that situation, you know, a lot of our people are brainwashed up under Esau Edom, so they be acting like Edomites, all right? So the end all be all, you know what I'm saying, when we have things like that happen, hey, man, it's still like they influenced by Esau Edom, all right? They wouldn't be like that if it wasn't for him to begin with. But nevertheless, in that situation, all right, Trayvon Martin, all right, was the one, he was basically, you know, according to the American law here and the things that he was doing here, he was pretty much innocent. He was just basically walking home from the damn store. All right, and then wind up getting shot. All right, but what? Whenever you know, you didn't hear nothing about Zimmerman being a monster, or whatever, whatnot, or whatever. But then when it came to that other guy, Mike Brown, oh, you know, he was a monster. He stole some cigarillos or whatever, whatnot. And I'm like, wait a minute. You know, when they go back into the case, all right, when you actually go back into that Mike Brown case, the store owner never called the police and pressed charges on Mike Brown for stealing some damn cigarillos. Even after the fact, he never even, you know, it was like, well, yeah, he stole the cigarillos. You know, that was the story that the news came up with, you know. And when you really watch the video, homeboy paid for the shit. You know what I'm saying? Apparently he go in there and get the shit all the time. So he go in there like he won his shit. He gave him the money or whatever, whatnot. But he wanted, you know, in the video without the audio, you see him snatching it from the, you know, from out the guy's hand or whatever. So, or they be like, oh, he robbed him and this is why he got killed. Like, well, the store owner never called the police on him. All right. And, you know, whatever, whatnot. Homeboy never got the police called on him. But nevertheless, they put these stories out in the media. So you'd be like, oh, well, he was he shouldn't have been stealing cigarillos. Or the other guy, Freddie Gray. All right. Every time, you know, I remember one of the brothers at camp was saying something about this guy. You know, he was defending the brother. You know what I'm saying? But he, you know, just like everybody else know this story. Oh, Freddie Gray, the guy who say, I can't breathe. Everybody say, oh, he was selling cigarettes. You see what I'm saying? But this is the demonization of Esau Edom. First of all, what the fuck's the problem with selling cigarettes when, like, homeboy selling loose cigarettes, but inside the store they selling whole boxes and cartons of cigarettes. So if him selling loose cigarettes is a problem, maybe you motherfuckers need to stop selling the damn cartons and shit like that. Y'all got cigarette factories. He don't own no cigarette factory. He taking the shit that he bought from y'all legally and just reselling it, you know, breaking it down into a smaller pack, you know, just like you do with your damn vending machines and your soda machines. You'll go buy a 12 pack of Coke, throw it right there, break them up individually and put them inside the soda machine. All right. So if you mad at somebody putting sodas in the soda machine, you need to stop selling the 12 packs. All right. But nevertheless, that's the story that we all hear about, old boy. All right. But the reality of it was, homeboy, yeah, he sold cigarettes. But at that point in time, when the situation happened, he wasn't selling cigarettes. Homeboy was breaking up a fight, helping out basically the store establishment, the people. There was a fight going on. He was breaking up the fight, and the police wound up rolling up on him, thinking he was causing the fight, and choked him out when he was just saying, I'm trying to breathe. But what? They painted a negative image of him. Oh, he was out there selling loose cigarettes. He's a bad product of the environment or whatever, whatnot, you know? They would never say nothing like that. But that was Esau who got choked out by a so-called black cop. You know, what they would say was, what they would say would basically be like, this guy was just innocent. He was trying to help out his community. He was trying to do so-and-so. And this random ass thug, this random monster came and took this innocent young person's life. You know, they always say things like that. Another thing to look out for, whenever you have these mass shootings and things like this, all right? Like I was just saying, Freddie Gray was breaking up a fight. There's another scenario where there was a young Jake working security in the club. Some shit popped off. He subdued the dude, held the dude down till the police came. Homeboy wearing his security hat that say security on it, security shirt on there. He got the dude, down. He done got the situation under control. The police roll up, immediately shoot him. You see what I'm saying? But he the police. He the one working for them. He the one helping save everybody else's lives and stuff like that, all right? If not, it probably would have been another mass shooting. But yet he the hero. He's the one being gunned down. And then when the police find out they made a mistake, oh, he's the problem. All right, I can go on and on and on and on for days with this. There was another Jake sitting in his car sleeping, had a gun on his lap. Might have been in some area he ain't never known about, so he ain't got tinted windows. If he gonna sleep in his car trying to be safe, all right, he gonna put a gun on his lap, make sure that nobody just roll up on him, try to break into his car. At least they had to deal with the situation. All right, it was a good enough security device that the police didn't want to knock on his damn window, try to wake him up, startle him. He pull out his gun and the gun is already out, start shooting at them. So what? That's a good enough for anybody else trying to deter him from, walking up on him. It's not like he pointing his gun at nobody. All right. He's in the car asleep. But then what? They want to try to make up lies and stuff. Oh, his car is in drive. How the fuck is his car in drive? He got to have a certain amount of pressure on the brakes for the car not to move. All right. He's asleep. He ain't, somebody gonna move. He would be to move his foot. But then they go and shoot this dude over 100 times and he wasn't a threat to nobody. He's in his car sleeping. You don't know what the hell he doing. But now all of a sudden, he was the problem. He was warranted for that. He was sleeping in the car with a loaded gun. The car was in park. There was officers standing in front of the car. He could have ran us over, but nobody called the police on him. He wasn't a threat to nobody. Y'all just so happened to roll across a sleeping man in the car and kill him and make up a story to demonize him. All right, but yet and still you have these Edomites. You can go on YouTube right now, find a bunch of these homeless fucking Edomites living in their cars, and they go and they ride into the so-called white people neighborhoods, and you'll see them. They'll get out of their little pickup truck. They'll go right in the little back, in a little bed, or in the little, how do you call it, the tailgate part, you know what I'm saying? They'll get in the bed of the truck, all right, and then they'll basically go to sleep up in there, But let Jake roll up into anybody's neighborhood, let it be Jake or Esau's neighborhood, and go to sleep in their car, man. Esau roll up on you, kill you in your own fucking car, man, for sleeping. You ain't in this neighborhood. You was suspicious. Oh, we were scared that you might have been trying to break into somebody's house over here, all right? But see, they look at us different than they look at Esau. They compare us different than Esau. We already guilty by basically the skin of our color, man. We automatically, these illegal immigrants coming over here. Now, when they say illegal immigrants, they're talking about the Northern Kingdom. They're a bunch of rapists. They're a bunch of killers. Where the most illegal immigrants that enter the country illegally, all right, they all come over the northern border through Canada, all right? Now, the most illegal people that's here in America, all right, are basically the Chinese people. These Chinese people, they come over here and they have babies over here, so their babies have American citizenship, all right? Now, when it comes to the Northern Kingdom, all right, a lot of, not even really them, it's really a lot of these other nations that do this, but a lot of the times with the Northern Kingdom, what'll happen with them, all right, is that they'll be over here on a visa or whatever, and the visa wound up expiring. So they was just over here already. They didn't sneak into the country. They didn't come over the border or nothing like that. But what? they'll tell you, oh, we got to build a wall for these rapists, these killers, whatever, whatnot, when it's really not even these people that's really the big problem like that, all right? It's these other nations, but yet they demonize in the Northern Kingdom like that as if they the problem. They're the ones bringing all these drugs over to America, man. I'm like, yeah, that's not how they doing it, man. This is all being done by the U.S. government, all right? The U.S. government is the #1 killer right now. You have this opioid crisis going on. Another prime example, the opioid crisis that's going on. That's why they call it an opioid crisis, all right? Because their people are being harmed by this stuff, all right? But who's the one bombing other countries to get the damn opium? Who's the one bringing the opium in? All right. But they'll blame everybody else. You know, our kids are dying and this is that. It's a national emergency. But when you all was doing it to our people and our kids, we was monsters. We was drug dealers. We was crackheads. We was crack babies. We was all kind of different shit. But now your people are all victims. All right. You see how I'm saying? There's a difference between how they deal with Jake and how they deal with Esau. All right. So there's a lot of things like in this here story, when it first came out, you know, one of the brothers was like, I wonder what his race is. Like, yeah, if you notice, they ain't really blasting or postering it or pasting his picture up everywhere. All right. Whenever Jake do some stuff like this or is accused of some stuff like this, before the story get all the way out, before they arrest the dude is they always have his picture all over the screen. All right. He could still be at large. You know, there could be a shooting that happened 10 minutes ago, but yet and still they find out, oh, it's Jake. They got his whole background on it, the whole Facebook rundown, every picture, every pose, every friend that then tagged them on Facebook. They got interviews with all these people, man. They got all kind of different shit going on with these here people, man. And it's all blasted over the news. But yet and still, when you have, you know, situations like with these Edomites, they all have a phrase like, oh, well, we don't want to give credence to the killer's name, you know, the suspect's name. We don't want to glorify that. We don't want to iconicize that. You know, we don't want to give him any power or glory by keeping his name in the atmosphere and stuff like that. No, we don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? They want to just basically what they're doing is hiding his name because they don't want the people to realize that that's how these people are. They don't want to be defined as these, you know, basically the damn devil. Like, yo, every time we turn around, it's your kids is shooting up every goddamn body. It's your kids that's always sacrificing little dogs and cats and shit. It's your kids that's always blowing some shit up, man. These are your kids that's always taking other people's kids hostage and keeping them in cages and shit like that, man. And when they grow up, they go into the military. Then they go overseas and they be raping and murdering and pillaging these men, women, and children over there, man. They start out as little kids and they doing it over here, man. Then they grow up and they be in the military and they go over there. And then you give them, you know, immunity and you tell them not to talk about certain things in the military. So, I mean, this is your characteristics all throughout, all in all. But what? Everybody has to look at the so-called white man as he's God. You can't call him out for who he is. You see what I'm saying? But this is just the characteristics and how the so-called white man gets down. And when, how do I say, whenever, not to say trouble arises, but whenever they do some stuff, they're not going to shine the light on them like that. All right. They're going to always try to sweep they dirt under the rug. All right. And then magnify everybody else's dirt. All right. But let's get into this here article in a couple of scriptures. It says Colorado school shooting suspect held on first-degree murder charge. All right. Now, this here article or this here lesson I'm going into is really not focusing on the whole school shooting, but just more or less how they handle the situation and certain things in here. All right. Now, they have released the name of this person, which they're going to go into, which is an Edomite. And I believe it's two of them. One of them is a transgender. I believe it was born a female and then so-called converted over to being a male or whatever, whatnot. All right. Now, one of the things they'll say about this is, oh, we're not going to release that person's name, which they released that person's name, or I didn't find out what that person's name was. But nevertheless, they saying that because, you know, oh, this was a minor, which this person, I believe, was 14 and the other one was like 16 or something like that. All right. However, think back to Tamir Rice. All right. They was like, oh, they rolled up on him thinking he was a full grown adult. All right. They put Mike Brown and basically all of our people who was shot or who was into some type of situations like that. They put all the, oh, we're going to charge him as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Tamir Rice was but 12 years old, but all of a sudden, oh, he looked like a full grown adult. He was playing with a toy gun. The police wound up wrongfully killing him. You see what I'm saying? But the little white kids, they can be rolling around playing cowboys and Indians and ain't nobody killing them. You see what I'm saying? But yet and still, young Tamir Rice, oh, we thought he was an adult. We ran up and shot him. But so basically, he was tried as an adult. But yet these, for playing with a toy gun, when somebody told you on the phone, who the person who called the police told you it was a toy gun, you just rolled up, didn't even examine the situation. You just took him out like a goddamn madman. But in these situations, you always, and another thing, whenever you have these Edomites going on the goddamn rampage, it always ends like this. Suspect in custody without a fight. They took him, you know, like Dylan Roof. Oh, they took him to go get some Burger King and shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he was hungry, so we took him to go get Burger King. We felt bad for him. But whenever it's Jake, you know, it always ends like this. You know, It ended in a long tense stand down. You know, we entered the building to find the suspect died from a self-inflicted wound to the head. You know what I'm saying? They tell you it was one self-inflicted wound to the head, yet the autopsy revealed the person was shot up 100,000 times. All right, but see, this is the stories that they always paint on us, that we weak people, we always killing ourselves. They can never apprehend us. We never get our time in court. There's never no evidence for us or nothing like that. But for the so-called white people, they go to court, and they always get broken off with some kind of technicality. You know, they got the one so-called white boy who was a bus driver, and he was raping and giving alcohol to these 14-year-old girls or whatever, whatnot, gave him 10 years probation. Another little white boy then took another little teenage girl to fulfill his little sexual fantasies and put her ass in a damn dog cage for a year. Gave the girl back injuries to where her spine is all fucked up, malnutrition. You know, he was molesting and raping this girl the whole time for a whole year, man. Homeboy gets some 10 years probation. You see what I'm saying? But you got people like Meek Mill, even though we ain't really promoting no shit that he do. He was on probation to do a fucking wheelie on a dirt bike, get sent back to jail. You see what I'm saying? You know, what your boy name is? Mike Vick fighting dogs, which we ain't promoting that shit either. He fighting dogs. He go to jail and shit, lose his job and stuff. But yet, you got a little white boy keeping a girl inside a cage, treating a human being like a dog. What the fuck? But you know, they sell dog cages for you to put your dog in. You can put your dog in a dog cage. You know what I'm saying? And if you an Edomite, you can put another fucking Edomite in the damn dog cage. Or Jake, you can put them in a dog cage. You know what I'm saying? But just don't be fighting dogs, because dogs is way more important than Jake lives. You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. So-called black lives don't matter, but a dog life matter. But you can put an Edomite bitch in the cage, and that shit don't matter if you an Edomite. You see what I'm saying? They get probation. We get the whole damn book thrown at us. There's a so-called Jake boy, all right, who was in college, I believe, and wound up meeting a chick. Both of these people, they was underage. They was drinking in a bar or whatever, whatnot. Wound up leaving the bar. All right, they went back to homeboy's apartment, which was around the block. All right, and him and the girl started messing around. They was up there for about 5 minutes. He was kissing all over her chest and shit like that. Then something happened, and he wound up, getting turned off with the shit. So they went on back to the bar or whatever, whatnot. And homegirl was so-called offended. I guess whatever, something happened. Homeboy wound up going to getting, taking the court or whatever, whatnot for rape. When they know for a fact that there was no penetration on the girl. All right, they did a DNA test. She was never penetrated. She was never raped. All right, the only DNA that was on the girl was basically homeboy's saliva, basically on her chest. So homeboy's being charged with raping a chick, and he never even put his penis inside the girl nowhere. He never really even pulled his penis out at all. He was basically just kissing on this girl's chest. This girl who agreed to go back to the room with his ass. All right, then they went back. They was only gone 5 minutes, but yet and still he's being charged with rape. All right, and about to go to jail and lose all kind of shit. But yet and still a white boy who didn't had this white girl in a cage for a damn year, her whole spine and everything all fucked up. He got 10 years probation, and then they about to try to drop the charges. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference in how they treat us versus them. All right. So it says, let me get into this here article. It says a suspect in Colorado's latest school shooting faces 1 count of first-degree murder, as well as 29 additional counts of attempted murder. All right. It says the suspect, 18-year-old Devin Eckerson, will make his first court appearance Wednesday afternoon and face some 30 charges according to court records obtained by Reuters. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office first identified Eckerson as one of the shooters on Tuesday, but have so far declined to name the second suspect, who is a minor. Both suspects were taken into custody without a fight, authorities said. All right, so like I said, you could just breeze through this here article and, it's just a regular article, but what? You got to read a little deeper than this, all right? So you see that he already got his little charges marked up. It's not, well, we got to investigate. He got to sit in jail for a while before we get this here investigation going down and everything like this and that, running up court fees and running up all this and that. There's more than just what happened to this here person, you know what I'm saying, that affects certain things, because somebody's got to be paying some court fees and whatever, whatnot. It's going to be affecting their family too. They trying to run this through the court system as fast as possible, all right? This school shooting happened at the beginning of the week. Shit, they about to have homeboy already and went through his trial and everything by the end of the week, all right? And just hush him off somewhere in the corner. But, like I said, this don't normally stand out to people when they read these things, all right? It says, the other thing at the bottom, it says Tuesday, but so far declined to name the second suspect, like I said, because they're going to claim it's a minor. But when it's our people, we're going to charge him as an adult. You know what I'm saying? We're going to treat him as an adult whenever such and such happened. It says both suspects were taken into custody without a fight, authorities said. Yeah, see, that's how, whenever it's Esau, Edom, that's how you can tell. They don't have to show you no pictures of none of these folks, they don't have to tell you none of the names. Like I said, when this story first came out, you couldn't find out who was involved in this. You couldn't find out who did this, you know. They don't want to tell you the name of the suspect because they don't, you know, they want to make up a story to how they can kind of soften the blow a little bit, make it not seem so bad, all right? So it says both suspects was taken into police custody without a fight, authorities said. Hey, by that line alone, you already know that these was Edomites, all right? And also, hey, if you look at the students in the school and the type of place that it was, man, this was an upper, like a private school for these upper elite so-called white people, all right? But what, if they tell you all this out and out, you know, a wise man, a thinking man would sit there and be like, well, shit, all their excuses then ran out. Now, I don't know what the problem is now, because why? You at one of these, how they call them schools, them little charter schools and them paid for schools, like, you know, private schools and shit, you know what I'm saying, where you only got those, upper echelon kids going to, you know what I'm saying? So what? You don't really got no excuses. It's not like you in a public school, you know, out there in the south side of ATL or goddamn South Central or Watson or Compton or Crenshaw. You ain't going to no shit like that where it's like majority Jacob in there and everybody in school got goddamn guns for their own protection from the other gang members or the other students that might have some outside beef. You know what I'm saying? Them types of schools, everybody in them schools is strapped already. But what? You don't see Esau running up into them type of schools shooting up no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, if in all these schools with all these goddamn badass gangbanging ass Jake, and yeah, I'm gonna agree with Esau with that because yeah, a lot of our people are wicked. They out there gangbanging and shit, toting tools to school and shit in the 5th grade with an AK-47 and shit. But guess what? You don't see us on the news every fucking day shooting up the goddamn school like that, man. Even though we be more strapped than everybody else in all our goddamn hood-ass schools, we ain't shooting up the schools. But what? Esau can't take that. If a wise man sitting here thinking like, look at these bum-ass niggas, they ain't got no home training or nothing like that. But it ain't these niggas that's shooting up their schools, even though they bringing guns to school every fucking day on Instagram Live up in math class showing off their extendo clip and shit. These ain't the niggas shooting up the schools. It's these so-called, how they say, affluent rich kids that's going to school where their mamas and daddies is dropping them off in a new Rolls Royce truck and shit, that's going to school mad because they didn't get their cereal for breakfast. They didn't get their little bonbons for breakfast, so they go to school and shoot the whole fucking school up. You see what I'm saying? So now, like I said, a wise man would think like, wait a minute. All them kids in the schools, all these goddamn affluent or rich kids, these ain't even no goddamn gangbang kids. What's the excuse? Other than the fact these motherfuckers are just baby damn devils. All right, they gonna just grow up to be damn devils. They starting out young, and then when they get older, they gonna do this. You know, whether they get into the damn military or they be these psychopathic Charles Manson ass killers. You know what I'm saying? Taking and raping bitches and taking them for sex slaves and sex rings and shit like that, putting them in these dungeons and shit, man. Sacrificing people. This is all the character of the so-called white man. All right, because he's allowed to get away with all this shit, man. But yet he'll portray this on everybody else as we the ones that's doing this shit, but it's really him. All right. It says the shooting took place at a K through 12 charter school in Highlands Ranch, a suburb of Denver. He claimed 9 victims. All right. So, and all in all, in this, things you have to pick out in this is they not really, how do I say, downplaying or talking negative about the shooter. All right. They're not really mentioning his name so much. They're not really focusing on him as much. They focus way more on the area more, the school more, the students more, the type of weather was going on that day with them kids ate for lunch more. They're giving you more information about this here shooter. All right, where he got the gun from. Was he on medications? Was he off medications? Which they'll probably say he was off his medication that day. Why the fuck he need medication anyway? All right, this is a little rich kid. What the fuck he need depression medicine? Go to the hood where little Ray Ray and them got a goddamn, you know what I'm saying, stand by the oven and shit for some heat because it's cold. They ain't got no heat or nothing. They got rats and roaches running through their shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They all trying to you know, they all passing around clothes, so they ain't, you know, I ain't wearing the same outfit every day. But now, if you really notice, my brother wearing a shirt I wore yesterday and shit. You know what I'm saying? What about them kids and shit like that? Them kids are stressed the fuck out, but yet you don't hear nobody talking no shit about that. But yet you hear about these so-called affluent kids, these so-called rich kids. All right. It says let me get down to some of this because they're talking about the people who kind of got shot. All right, right here it says, this does not define us. It won't today, it won't tomorrow, Butler said, while the governor added, our hearts are hurting for the victims. All right, so again, as you can see, you can point out certain things in here. How I said, it's like, look, it says, this does not define us. What does it mean by us? Who is the us? All right, not talking about your little town or whatever, whatnot. It's talking about you goddamn Edomites. You saying this don't define us because, like I said, a wise man would look at all these different situations and be like, listen, bro, every time there's a fucking school shooting, every time we hear school's on lockdown, we already noticed them damn Edomites. We ain't even worried about the school in Compton and shit, man. Even though, like I said, even though them Jakes is rolling in school with extendo clips and shit like that, gang banging and shit. You know, you got the two rival gangs in school every damn day where everybody mean mugging everybody every day. You know what I'm saying? You got metal detectors in school. Hey, go back to that movie 187, all right, with Samuel L. Jackson and shit like that, man. You see what I'm saying? Those the type of schools Jake go to. But yet you don't hear a whole bunch of shootings and shit like that happening in our schools. But the mass shootings come from Esau. But he's like, this does not define us. It won't today, it won't tomorrow. They don't want nobody to know that they the damn devil for real, man. That's just, it is what it is. All right? So, going down here, it says, it's unclear how the suspect obtained the handgun they used in the shooting, as Colorado's law restrict handgun sales to those age 21 and older. Neither suspect was of age to buy their own weapon. All right, it says Eckerson will not formally face charges until prosecutors bring them in the coming weeks. All right, and like I said, they're gonna try to downplay this as much as possible. All right, now let me continue on a little bit. Give me 1 second. All right, so like I had a bunch of Edomites actually just roll up around me, talking about them in the spirit and summon their ass up. But nevertheless, let's get into some of these scriptures dealing with these damn Edomites. All right, this is Psalms 58, verse 2 and 3. It says, yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. All right, so like I always tell you about the so-called white man, his character is, you know, we tell you he the damn devil, but most people got the wrong interpretation of the devil. Our people think that the damn devil gonna come out the woodworks like, fuck you niggas, I'm trying to kill you niggas, I'm the big bad wolf nigga, I'm the worst, I'm the killer, I'm the... Our people got that all fucked up. The devil's not gonna come to you like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's why a lot of our people call us the damn devil and shit like that, because we be coming to you straightforward, be telling you, look, man, the Lord finna put your ass to death, man, if you keep doing that shit that you're doing. You see what I'm saying? But yet they go and follow Jesus and shit because Jesus tell you, oh, we love everybody. We love everybody. You don't realize that damn devil is it's like you fishing, man. You don't throw a damn fish hook, an exposed fish hook down in the water and expect to catch no fish like that, man. How do you do it? You seduce him with that good looking worm. You see what I'm saying? But in reality, you the damn devil comparably to the fish. You know what I'm saying? Because you about to take his life and take him up out the water. So in perspective, you the devil to him. But when you trying to catch him, you're not trying to catch him with that damn dangerous hook that you're trying to kill his ass with. You're going to try to seduce him with that nice looking, tasty looking worm. So you're going to come to him beautifully the same way. So look, it says, yea, in heart, ye work wickedness. All right. So yeah, in your heart, in your mind, it's not like it's an openly thing. All right. Like the scripture also say, his words were smoother than, matter of fact, is that in the same, no, it's not in the same passage, but it says, his words were smoother than butter, but yet war was in his heart. All right. So like I tell you about the damn devil, man, he's not going to come to you. Fuck y'all niggas. I'm finna kill you niggas. When I see you niggas on the block, I'm gonna run through all you niggas. Nah, that's how Jake is. Cause Jake, we're not really deceitful people, man. We're going to tell you straight out the woodwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, prime example, Tupac can hit him up. Fuck you and your mama. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Bad Boy as a staff, record label, and as a motherfucking crew. And if you want to be down with Bad Boy, then fuck you too. Chino XL, fuck you too. At the end of the song, you knew everybody Tupac had beef with. It wasn't no sneak diss, no slide diss, nothing on the side. Esau Edom beat and made a song. Let me think of some shit where you think it's some all nice, some shit going on, but then at the end of the day, they're like, wait a minute, these niggas is talking about killing niggas and shit the whole time. But nevertheless, you get the point. The damn devil gonna come to you like that, all right? He gonna speak peaceably, speak smoothly and softly in your face, but in his inward part is straight wickedness, man. This is what this nigga plan on doing from Jump Street, man. These little motherfucking, like these little kids, oh, I'm playing with little Fluffy. You see him just rubbing the cat and shit the whole time. He thinking how he gonna sacrifice this motherfucker, man. All right? It says, hey, I can think of 2 accounts where 2 separate Edomite kids and took their damn friends out into the woods and basically was gonna sacrifice their ass and chopped them up with a knife and shit, tried to hide the shit. And these were their so-called friends. Oh, let's go out to the woods and play, you know what I'm saying? But yet in their heart was straight wickedness, man. These are the damn devils, man. These are the seeds of the damn devils, man. These are the seeds of the wicked, man. All right? Let me continue on. In verse 3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Now, let me give you a comparison. They always like to demonize people, talking about these goddamn Arabs, talking some, oh, well, they was radicalized on the internet. They was radicalized on the internet. Maybe they was just radicalized based from experience, motherfucker, you done raped, robbed, and murdered these people their whole fucking existence. What you think they gonna, how you think they gonna feel, man? You over there constantly blowing up their whole shit. What you think gonna happen, man? Look at how Jake get down in the hood and shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the Crips come over on the block and start shooting at the Bloods and shit. What you think the Bloods gonna do? They gonna go back and retaliate, man. When somebody come and bang on your shit, what happens when the Japanese came and Pearl Harbored your ass? You went over there in Hiroshima, they ass. So you see what the fuck's going on, but yet and still, you talking about these Islamic people getting radicalized off the internet from watching these videos or whatever, whatnot. You gonna say the same thing about Jake, all right? But what? These damn Edomites, hey, man, from the very beginnings, they birth, man, from when they first grow up. This is how they start being radicalized. It's just in them. Like I said, they go through a stage from when they little kids. If they don't be killing up their little friends as kids or any school shootings, or first they start out sacrificing little animals and pets, the neighborhood cats and dogs. Then they go into schools and have their school shootings. And if they don't do it then, they become teenagers and be having these people in sex slaves and sex rings and shit like that. If not, they get older, they go into the military and they do this shit. Go overseas and start raping these little, the children over there, bombing the children over there, killing the people over there. All right, and then if they make it out of that, they become somebody prominent in the world, one of these elites. They get these little sex rings and shit like that, or they own sex slaves and shit like that, where they be talking about that pizza thing, the pizza arena, or the pizza, whatever the fuck the shit was called, where they was talking about molesting kids, the shit with the pizza. You see what I'm saying? This is a trend with these people from birth all the way up to the end, man. This the so-called white man to the T, man. Even from birth, going all the way up to the, let me read this. The wicked are estranged from the wounds. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Until you hear an Edomite being born, talking about, yeah, I'm an Edomite, I'm a damn devil. I ain't gonna do you no good. Stay far away from me. I need to be put to death. This motherfucker lying. Everything else that he's saying is a lie. Because if he ain't saying that, he ain't saying the truth, man. Off rip. And the things that they believe, oh yeah, they teach their kids that they're white, they're better than everybody else. Oh, those people are less than us, those that are misfortunate. They teach their kids a whole lot of other shit. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Talk to some of these white girls, whatever, whatnot. My parents wouldn't approve of you. They think that all black people are monsters. They're all rapists. They're all this. I done heard some bizarre shit of how these other races think about it. Like, wait a minute, y'all think all black people do some shit like that? Hell no. Black people, we didn't even think about no shit like that. Hell nah. Y'all think we over here doing this and doing that? I see all these black guys there on the porch, they're selling drugs and this and that. Like, nah, motherfucker, we sitting on the porch because we ain't got no central air in the house. We ain't got no cable in the house. It ain't shit to do inside the house. So we gonna play, we ain't got no real board games. So we gonna play some cards on the front porch or some dominoes or some shit. That's all we can do. So that's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? That's our entertainment. We ain't got no money like y'all. Y'all don't understand us, but y'all painting pictures of us. Oh, these motherfuckers gonna do this and do that. Nah. You know what I'm saying? You be teaching your kids all these lies about us from birth, man. And they grow up believing these things. Oh, well, we knew about your people and how you people get down, man. They always be spreading these lies. All these black guys, they're going to rape you. You know what I'm saying? I done heard some shit about it, like all black guys are rapists. They're going to do this and they're going to do that, man. Oh, my God. Let me just continue on. Hey, well, shit, I'll say this anyway because it kind of go with the damn lesson, I remember one time, just back out in the world, I was dating this Edomite chick. We was out to eat. And an older Edomite chick came up to the chick that I was messing around with and asked her on the slide, she's like, are you okay? Do we need to call somebody? And I guess I went to the bathroom. I came back and the chick had done told me what happened. I was just like, I kind of laughed it off, but I was like, I had already knew what was going on. He'd be like, yeah, see, and this bitch is mine. She thinking I done probably kidnapped your ass or some shit. Like, I wouldn't kidnap your ass and bring you out in the public and go out to eat and then leave and go to the bathroom, leave you unattended like that. If that was really the situation, just think about this shit, bitch. Like, what the fuck you think? What do you think this is, bitch? You know what I'm saying? We out, enjoying our time together, whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But you think that this chick is being kidnapped or whatever. That's not the case. All right, but yet and still, this is the mindset of what's going on with them. You asking the person that I'm with if I'm okay. In reality, in retrospect, looking back, these motherfuckers should have been asking if I was okay, because my life is more in danger being around these goddamn Edomites and these Edomites being in danger being around Jake. All right, because more crimes happen to Jake at the hands of the Edomites than vice versa, man. It's something about, well, the image of us bowing down to the so-called white Jesus, all right, has really fucked us up to where we don't want to touch so-called white people, man. The so-called black man's biggest fear, or the so-called the Israelites' biggest fear, all right, is little white children, all right? Now, Jake will go shoot up the whole neighborhood. He won't give a fuck. Like when Nipsey Hussle got shot, I believe it probably wasn't a little child right there beside him, but nevertheless, hey, Jake don't give a fuck, man. Jake will mow your ass down with you and your kids and right there around you and everything like that. You see what I'm saying? They'll breaking or steal your car with your kids, and they don't give a fuck about you and your kids, right? But yet, let Jake break into an Edomite car and have some Edomite children in there. Man, these motherfuckers, if they run from the police, they'll hop out the car. They'll be like, oh shit, there's some Edomite babies in here. oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Or they walking down the block, you know what I'm saying? Some Edomite babies come up to them, they cross the street because they don't want people to be looking from the other side. And there's a case right now, you know, you can look it up on YouTube, you know. Jake, friends with some Edomites, right? It's an Edomite couple, husband and wife, you know what I'm saying? And they both at work, maybe they falling on hard times, they need to babysit. Babysitter can't afford one, but Jake, misfortunate, probably ain't got a job. So Jake, he'll babysit on the side. That's his homies or whatever. So he, you know what I'm saying, babysitting his homies' kids. You know what I'm saying? It's a man and a wife, Edomite man and a wife. He got their little Edomite babies in the backseat rolling around. Another motherfucking Edomite called the police on him, and you can hear the police recording. You know, there's a black guy riding around with two white kids in their car. I just want to make sure that they're safe. I want to make sure everything is fine. They pull him over, whatever, whatnot. To come to find out, I'm like, yo, man, I'm babysitting. These are my friends' kids. Can you call them verify? You know, the Edomite parents act like that they was all vilified that this would happen. But like, yo, man, you should already expect that this is going to happen. If you hang out with Jake like that, you should already know how things get down, man. All right, Jake already understood what was going on. He's like, no, these are my friends' kids. I'm babysitting them. You know what I'm saying? We just out at the park, whatever, whatnot, you know? But it could have been deeper than that. What if those was actually his kids, though? You see what I'm saying? Or what happens if they had like an interracial relationship and that's actually some of his family members or whatever, whatnot? You see how people look at us and they already think the worst about us. All right, already thinking the worst about us. But in reality, it's the opposite way around, man. All right, so when Jake has Esau in possession, like little white kids around him or whatever, whatnot, or even if they come across white kids, they're not trying to harm them because we know, hey, according to like the scripture, you know, we might not even be aware of this, but when you go back to the Cain and Abel situation, right? So you have the mark that was put on Cain, right? You know, because he said, I'm gonna be a vagabond in the streets, right? And people was let me see. No. Oh shit. I'm not on, that's why. Oh nope. Right here. Oh no, that's the next verse. Alright, it says and Yahweh said unto him, therefore no. Genesis 4:13, it says, and Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. All right. Let me see. Let me start at verse 9. It says, Genesis 4:9. All right. Now Cain, all right, basically in the reincarnation, this is where Esau comes from. All right. Now, Genesis 4:9, it says, and Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and vagabond shall thou be in the earth. All right. So, hey, these are some of the curses that you see on Esau even today. This is why, like, over there in the land of Israel, they got to import water and all kind of shit like that for their vegetation to grow. All right, here in America really not bearing what it normally would bear, like when the natives was over here. All right, the food is actually on a shortage. This is why they having GMOs. All right, because they in control of every damn thing, but yet it's all cursed upon them. All right, it says a fugitive and a vagabond shall be in the earth. Now, when you follow Esau, Edom's history in the earth, homeboy was, hey, like when you talk about him being a caveman in the book of Job, where he was chasing to the damn caves and stuff like that. All right, hey, that's where he was. You know, he was chased from among men. He was like a vagabond, a fugitive. He was just running from here to here, you know. It says, and Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. All right, just like when he was weeping for his damn blessing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, is there a blessing even for me, Father? Yeah, but you sold your damn birthright. Now you want to be all sore and confounded about this shit now. It ain't too much now. You shouldn't have killed your damn brother, or you shouldn't have sold your birthright. As you can see the comparison between Esau and Cain here. All right. It says, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, just like how Esau was chased him to them damn caves. You know what I'm saying? And from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. All right, because why? He know that he the first criminal and stuff, right? Verse 15, and Yahweh said unto you, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold, and Yahweh shall set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. All right, just as a side note, everybody on the planet Earth was so-called black people. All right, and we all know that because they'll tell you in science, oh, we all come from Africa, from these same people. Yeah, we was all so-called black people, or we all had so-called black skin, because black people ain't even a people, tell you the truth. It's just the skin color that people got. But nevertheless, we was all so-called black people. But it says, and Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any should find him and kill him. This is why Esau came out red all over. This is him in a reincarnation. This is where you get that so-called white skin from. We was all on the planet Earth looking the same damn color, except for when Esau came out red all over like that. That was that mark that the Most High put upon Cain. All right, so you want to talk about a mark, a skin mark that the Lord put on somebody, curse somebody with a skin curse. We all had skin color or melanin. Or put it this way, everybody on planet Earth, they get life or nourishment, vitamins and nutrients from the sunlight. Esau is the only person on the planet Earth who's getting killed or cancer from the sun. The sun is the only person, that's the only people on the planet Earth that's dying from the damn sun. The one thing that's giving life to everything else, all right? This is that mark on his skin. His skin, he's lost his skin pigmentation. This is that mark on him. Just like Miriam, when Miriam was talking shit about Moses' wife, the Most High had smote her with the curse of leprosy, put a mark on her ass, you know what I'm saying, made an example out of her. All right, so when people see her, they can say, oh, what the fuck did you do? Something happened to your ass. What the fuck did you do? Just like Cain. So we can see his little red ass in the damn earth. So just imagine if, Esau first, I believe his first wife was these Hamite women. But nevertheless, if he had never mixed with nobody else and Esau was just with the damn Edomites looking like he was his little red ass, all right, then we would all know everybody would be men of color except for the so-called white man. All right, or the so-called red man, the one, the wasted away is he, the one that's missing his skin pigmentation, his melanin, because everybody else on the planet Earth are people of color except for the so-called white man. He's the only person that's not the man of color. All right, but nevertheless, the point here I wanted to grab was it says, and Yahweh said unto him, therefore whoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. Now that was the point that I wanted to get into, going back to going back into one of the biggest fears that you Israelite men have, men, women, and children really have, is these Edomite children. All right, you really don't want to get caught doing no fuck shit to no Edomite children, let alone no Edomite at any age. You know what I'm saying? Because why? Eric Dorner or whatever, the guy who's supposed to be killed a cop or was snitched on a cop, they want to burn him down in the house. All right, you want to kill one of them? Like I said, man, you can, if you're an Edomite, you can go kill up a whole bunch of Edomites and nothing happen to you. You get taken into custody. You might get some Burger King on the way home or on the way to jail. They release your ass in protective custody or on probation or something like that. So you got to go back to court. But if you Jake, you know what I'm saying? You do some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Your ass going to get killed on the spot. You know what I'm saying? If Jake touches so-called Edomite in any kind of way or whatever, whatnot, we going to automatically get the full extent. That's what the scripture was talking about. He going to put a mark on him. If anybody slay him, you're going to be cursed, with, 7 times over. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, this is why the punishment on the Israelites or anybody else who killed a so-called white man is so much more horrible than anybody else. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, let me think of a scenario. You got, I would say 9/11, but 9/11 was all caused by, it was an inside job. But nevertheless, you can see how, y'all, let's just say that story played out how they say it played out. The so-called Arabs wound up blowing that shit up. Let's just say that happened, right? Okay, they wound up killing 3,000 Americans. How many goddamn of them people did America go over and killed? They avenged them 70 times over. They was fully, they got the full extent. You know what I'm saying? Esau could roll up in your house. The police could roll up in your house, right? And raid your house and kill everybody in your house. It'd be 15 people in the house. One of y'all got one shot off and you didn't kill the police dog, right? Man, they gonna goddamn bury, they gonna burn your whole house down to the ground and exact that vengeance on you. Let alone you shoot a damn cop. Let alone the cops roll up in your house and in the wrong house, you know what I'm saying, and shoot you. You wind up getting goddamn done over to the full max. They overkill your ass. Why? Because look, this is what the Lord said to basically Cain at that point in time, but it would be brought out through Esau, Edom. All right, that if anybody touch you, he gonna be avenged. I believe it was 70 times over. All right, but nevertheless, this is what you're seeing going on. But at the end all be all, the Most High is gonna actually judge Esau, Edom. This is why we ain't really supposed to be touching him like that. All right, nobody really gonna be touching him. That's why the Lord's letting his sins mount all the way up to heaven. And at the end all be all, he gonna get the worst punishment than anybody on the earth. All right, his punishment go all the way back from Cain. He ain't got his judgment yet. All right, so let me just go ahead and finish out with this here lesson. I want to go to Psalm 73. Really, I could read this whole thing through, but I've been going for a while. All right. this is, from the top. It's also a good little piece too, Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it because, this is also a stumbling block that our people fall under, because our people they be envious of the so-called white man. We want to be like him so bad. We want the blonde hair, live in his neighborhood, and so on and so forth. But we don't realize that this motherfucker is the devil. All right, the Most High is letting this shit mount all the way up, and it's gonna crumble. All the shit that he's doing, we start glorifying it sometimes because we don't see him getting in no kind of trouble. So we start glorifying it. Oh, if he can go out and go, rob a bank or whatnot, and get away with it, we can go do it too. If he can go out here and be, how you call this shit, having sex rings and shit, or we can go do it too. Or even, hell, man, just, they in the military, they going around doing all that crazy shit that they be doing that ain't necessarily a part of the military. Jake go over there do it, he wound up getting the whole book thrown at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Jake might have went over there and raped one woman over there, but Esau done raped the whole damn village, and then they ain't gonna say nothing to the Edomites. They gonna sit there and throw the whole book on that one Jake, But nevertheless, it says Psalm 73:1, it says, Psalm of Asaph, truly Yahweh is good to Israel, even to such are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped. All right, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Yeah, because we see, the so-called white man prospering right now. They living it up, living in these affluent neighborhoods and so on and so forth. And we know, like, hey, right now, we find out that they cheating to get into these elite schools. You know what I'm saying? They getting better off jobs and getting better opportunities because of all these different things, man. They prospering, but yet we in school actually studying hard and getting good grades, and we still ending up at the bottom. So what? A lot of our people are envious of that. You walk around, or you go around to you're out around the so-called white people neighborhood. Oh man, I want to live in a house like that. I want to drive a car like that. Think about it. All the shit, the type of shit that Jake like. Where does it all come from? It all come from Esau, Edom, the shit that he's doing on the highest level. You know what I'm saying? Jake. Prime car, the top of the line car they want to get to make sure that they made it is like a Benz. Why? I mean, some of you, Jake, actually like these cars because you just like the car, the quality of the car. I'm actually like that. But nevertheless, you have some people like, oh, I want a Benz. Why you want a Benz? Because I just know that the white man, when he on top, he driving a Benz. Or I want a Maybach. Oh, because why? When the white man is on top, he driving that. Or a Rolls Royce. Or I want to wear Gucci or Louis Vuitton. Because why? This is what the so-called white man wear when he all super rich. You know what I'm saying? So we measure ourselves the same way. All right? Or we don't think we made it, or we say we made it up out the hood. You know what I'm saying? We can't make it up out the hood and just move, you know what I'm saying, or build a better property in the hood somewhere, or we can't make it out the hood and move to the, so to say, the country or the suburbs, or have our own plot of land. When we say we didn't made it out the hood or we made it, what does that mean? That means when we look to our left and to our right, we got so-called Edomite, or we have Edomite neighbors, so-called white neighbors. You know what I'm saying? We say that we made it when what? When what? We can look out in our driveway and we, when you walk out your house, on your left and on your right, both of your neighbors are Edomites. When you look down the street and you look through the driveways and, you look in the driveways of all the damn houses, when you see everybody got the same kind of car, you done made it, right? So you comparing yourself to Esau, Edom, you be like, all right, yeah, beforehand, Jake be driving them old school Buicks and shit like that, old school Chevys, because we got to make do with whatever we got. But we say we done made it when we get the new Benz, right? And then we don't even get the big Benz. We get the ones that we can afford, which is like a C-class, a 300 C-class, right? And then that shit be breaking our bank like, yo, this the mid-size to the little boy. You ain't even got in the big boy class. So you think you own, and you struggling to get there, all right? And you driving the little boy. You driving the shit that they buy for their teenagers for their first car, but you thinking it's the big boy Benz. You think you done made it because these Edomites is getting it, all right? And they driving the big boy, and you driving the little boy. But you still think you made it because you comparing yourself to that. All right. How come Jake don't ever say, I done made it? You know what I'm saying? I'm prospering because why? I'm a good father. I got my wife intact. You know what I'm saying? I'm raising my kids in righteousness. My kids ain't going off. This and that. I done made it, man. I done made it up out of this here wickedness. You know what I'm saying? I made it as a man to be able to function in this here society and shit like that. Not to say monetarily and I'm living next to the white man, but other things than that. My mind is straight. My mind is clear. That's where I made it at. I ain't caught into all these fucking traps here in America, man. You see what I'm saying? We don't ever think like that. We think, we got to measure that by what the so-called white man got. You know what I'm saying? When my car looked like the so-called white man, then I done made it. When my house looked like the so-called white man, I made it. When my meals and the restaurants I go to look like the so-called white man, I made it. When my jobs, when I get, when the people that write the so-called white man paycheck is the same people that write my paycheck, I done made it. When I got the same job title as he got, I made it. When I got the same type of woman as he got, I made it. You know what I'm saying? When I got the same hairstyle as him, I made it. We comparing ourselves to the goddamn so-called white man, so we envious of them all the time. All right, it says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Because why? like the Rothschilds, they understand reincarnation, man. They understand that passing down stuff, you know, to their children, all right, is going to be basically passing it down to their own self, all right? You know, but what our people pass down is death and destruction, man. Death, debt, and destruction, you know. We want to pass down, you know, we get buried and you don't have enough money for the funeral and your kids got to take out loans and shit. So you got debt, all right? And they give us what? You know, death and destruction by what? Ways of being and stuff. They handing down, you know, recipes, what you learn from your grandma. I learned how to fry some pork chops, you know what I'm saying, and make some chitlins and shit like that. But that's not really going to help you out. That's not nothing you want to really pass down to your children. Or if anything, you want to pass down a knowledge that you don't want to be eating no shit like that, all right? But what? That's all that we can pass down, whereas these Edomites is passing down good knowledge, good health practices, good, you know, all these different things for them to prosper. This is why they still being on top, all right? So it says there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Hey, so let's go into the trouble as other men. That's what this here lesson was all about. You know, they're not in trouble as other men, right? Like I was saying, you know what I'm saying? They get shot down. The story always ends, suspect taken in custody without a fight. But when it's Jake, hey man, this monster, you know, this cowardly monster couldn't even face justice. He took his own life. You know, when Jake's stories always end, it's always like that. This coward couldn't face justice, so he took his own life. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, Jake didn't even have a gun. How'd he kill himself? You see what I'm saying? Oh, this coward. You know what I'm saying? Or the dudes from the Boston bomber. Or these cowards. He shot himself. I'm like, homeboy was hiding in the boat with no gun. The boat got 100,000 rounds into it, but he shot himself with what gun? He was running and hiding from you motherfuckers. Y'all done dumped this shit on these motherfuckers. He can't even defend himself. You see what I'm saying? But what? They already didn't, how do I say, before, like in the Boston bombing situation, they done already had these two teenage boys plastered on the TV. They was already guilty before they was even caught by the damn police. They didn't had the whole situation down packed and everything. But yet in this here school shooting where homeboy was subdued and taken into custody, you know what I'm saying? They didn't fight or whatever they said they didn't fight. And situations like this, yet they don't really, you know, oh, well, we don't really have enough information, this and that, blah, blah, blah. The case is thrown out, insufficient information, investigation was contaminated by such and so forth. Hey, we got to throw this here case out. You know what I'm saying? Like I was referencing earlier today, the bus driver giving the 14-year-old some alcohol and raping this little Edomite girl. You know what I'm saying? The other one, the other Edomite who had the Edomite girl in the dog cage for a year. Just imagine if Jake would have did that. If Jake would have took a full-grown human being, a consenting full-grown human being, right? If Jake would have had, let's just say this scenario happened, right? Let's say Jake, right? Let's say Jake is fucking with his wife, right? Or his woman, or let's just say an Edomite bitch, right? And now they both adults. Let's say they both 30 years old. Fuck it, right? They both consensual in a relationship, whatever, whatnot. Now they decide they're gonna film them a little porno tape, right? Now in the porno tape, they into that little Dungeons and Dragons or the dungeon shit where they be chaining motherfuckers up and shit, right? Now imagine that they into that type of shit. They filming a little jump off, whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And the girl is into all this little pain and shit where they be tying motherfuckers up. She into that. He into that. They both consensual. Now this tape get let out somewhere. Now they break up later on in life or whatever, whatnot. Now all of a sudden they looking at this tape. They gonna say what about this guy? Oh, look at this brute beast, this monster. Like, wait a minute, he ain't no fucking monster. They consenting with it. Matter of fact, look at R. Kelly right now. You see what I'm saying? Oh, this monster's got these women kidnapped. Like, wait a minute, this nigga just went to jail and ain't nobody said nothing about him kidnapping these bitches. They released his ass from jail right back to them kidnapped bitches. They knew about them bitches that was supposed to be kidnapped. But they all over 18 years old. None of these bitches want to leave. When the police had R. Kelly in jail, they didn't decide to run. They didn't call 911. They stayed there because that's what they wanted to do. But when you listen to Esau Edom, he painted a picture like, oh, R. Kelly's just a monster. He's raping your little girls and holding them hostage in his $1 million mansion. I'm like, well, these bitches was living in the projects eating ramen noodles, but now they all living like queens and shit right now. When you go to these R. Kelly concerts, there's nothing but a bunch of bitches that's crying out to him, throwing their panties on stage, trying to be with this nigga. So, I mean, you can't really fault them because he's a sex symbol. All these women want to fall in love with him, just like Justin Bieber. I guarantee if Justin Bieber was like, how many of you bitches want to stay with me and live in my house? It'd be a whole flock of these little white bitches want to go stay with him. Ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what they want to do consensually. But as they talk about R. Kelly, we got to erase his music and this and that. And so, now I'm not condoning homeboy pissing on little girls and no shit like this, but let's just be real, Israel. We knew about this shit since Dave Chappelle, before Dave Chappelle was talking about it. We made jokes about this shit. So for them to keep bringing up old cases from way back in the day, all the way up until today's time, just to demonize him, because it wasn't Jake that started flipping out about R. Kelly with this shit recently. It was the so-called white man putting this shit in the news, all right, trying to demonize our people. But yet and still on the flip side, you got these Edomite teenage boys literally kidnapping a teenager girl and keeping this bitch in a dog cage for a whole fucking year. Now her back is all fucked up. She malnutrition. Homeboy is raping this bitch all the time. Homeboy get 10 years probation. But yeah, y'all talking about stop R. Kelly from getting money. Stop R. These bitches came consensually. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, well, some of them, they was underage when they got with him. All right, well, yeah, y'all shouldn't be doing that. But how these underage girls get to the R. Kelly concert? If they was underage, who brought them there? Did they mama bring them there? They mama try to set them up to go. You know how you bitches get older, you want to be gold diggers. You go out trying to find these basketball players and so on and so forth. Well, these mamas might have been like, well, I'm too old. R. Kelly don't want me. He might want my young daughter. Might get on from at that point in time. These mamas wasn't complaining when they first got there, when they was first getting money and shit. All right, so I'm not condoning the shit that he doing, but I'm just saying y'all can't have a problem with the shit way after the fact. Like with the Bill Cosby shit. I don't condone you drugging and raping no bitches. However, I don't have no remorse for you if you gonna try to complain about the shit. Like if feelings is hurt 60 fucking years later from now, I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be going around slapping people in the face, but if I slapped you in the face and 35 years later you come back, you all mad about the shit, I can't respect that, bro. You should have said something right then and there when I slapped your ass right then and there. All right, so going back into hey, these people ain't in trouble like how we are. I just gave you a case about R. Kelly kidnapping these bitches and they demonizing this motherfucker. When you look at the facts of the matter, homeboy ain't got nobody kidnapped. All right, if that was the case, he would be in jail for that shit right now. He just recently went to jail. All right, for not appearing in the court or whatever because he said he can't read his paperwork because he's illiterate. So you see what I'm saying? They not in trouble like how we in trouble. These motherfuckers are held to a different standard, man. All right. It says they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. All right, yeah, they don't have the same type of problems as we have with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? They're not plagued like how we are. It says, therefore, pride compasses them about as a chains, violent covereth them as a garment. You know, they think they can do whatever they want. They can get away with whatever they want. What will possess? You know, Jake would never think at whatever age. No, ain't no Jake man gonna ever think about taking no goddamn white bitch, whether she of legal age or illegal age, consensual or non-consensual, even if it's our girlfriend or our wife. Like I was just telling you, bro, Jake is not gonna try to put no damn white bitch in no goddamn cage for no sexual pleasures, even if she want the shit, because man, if we get caught with this shit, you see what I'm saying? We know we gonna be, hey, we a dead man walking, but what? Esau can go and lynch our children and shit like that. They can go drag them out their house and lynch them. You know what I'm saying? Kill them in the damn schools and cut their organs out and shit like that. And they all get away with it. Oh, well, this dude done lynched himself. How the fuck he tie himself up? You know what I'm saying? And lynch himself. You know what I'm saying? How does that work? And how does a shriveled up old lady lift this boy up and cut him off? Nah, that shit don't even work out. Y'all lynched this nigga, but y'all trying to say that, oh, he hung himself. Nah. It says, therefore, pride compasses them as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than the heart could wish. Yeah, they got way more than everybody else, but yet they don't deserve none of this shit. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Yeah, oh well, like I was saying, probation for locking up a bitch in a cage, but yet you trying to stop R. Kelly and erase him from history and his music and all of that stuff. For what? When this was a big figure in our community growing up. You know what I'm saying? Now you're trying to erase him out of history because why? It's a black man, got multiple women, and these women want to be with him and shit like that. You bringing up cases from way back in the day. All right. But continuing on, it says, they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongues walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither and water of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doth the Most High know? Is their knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. All right. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. All right. So, yeah, sometimes, hey, people look at us all crazy when we be pointing this shit out about the so-called white man or whatever, whatnot. They're like, oh, you crazy. I know I'll probably get a lot of flack about talking about the R. Kelly situation, but again, we're not promoting what the fuck he doing. I'm just bringing out the facts. Like, all right, you keep talking about him kidnapping some bitches. How come he just went to jail like recently and the police, the courts, none of them, this was all in the media. It's not like it's hidden. They didn't find out about it. You know what I'm saying? That he wouldn't be in charge with that. All right, that's not even on the books. So, but this is what's in the media. This is how they demonizing this person. But when Esau go and shoot up a school, they don't even talk about this. They don't call him a killer, a monster, nothing like this. But they talk about R. He's a monster. He's got these young girls kidnapped. The mama want them back. And they're like, wait a minute. These are all 18-year-olds or older. They all consensual. Like at 18, you don't got to stay with your fucking parents. They want to be over there with his ass. He just got locked up. They didn't call the police to get him out. And when he was locked up the other time, motherfucking female fans wanted bailing his ass out of jail. So Who the fuck is he really a problem to? Oh, you Edomites. And then these Edomites are demonizing him in the media, making us further hate him. You know, oh, we're going to delete R. Kelly, mute R. Kelly, stop him from getting his money. Because what? The so-called white man told you this shit? How come you, Jake, if you wanted to be that mad, you should have been mad about Aaliyah back in the day when you found out he was marrying a 14-year-old at that time, having sex with a 14-year-old at that time. But since we okayed that, you can't come back and be mad about it all at a later time. All right? But going back into this, it says, if I say I will speak, thus behold, should I offend against the children of the generation of thy children? When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. Until I went to the sanctuary of the Most High, that I understood their end. Surely did thou set them in the slippery places, thou cast them down into destruction. Yeah, they set up for a fall, man. They set up for their own, they in their own trick bag, man. So this is why you don't want to be envious of these damn people. But what? At the same time, just because they're not treated like how we treated, they're not punished how we punish, you don't want to be like, oh, I seen the so-called white man do this, so I'm going to go out there and try it too. Oh, I got the freedom to do this because they out there doing it. Nah, you can't go do it how they doing it, man. You can't do the same thing that they do and get the same type of judgment that they get. They're going to get a different type, all right? Let me see. It says, nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and close out from there because basically, you know, when he's talking about he saw that their ends, well, let me read that, let me read 17 through 19. It says, until I went to the sanctuary of the Most High, then I understood their end. Surely did thou set them in slippery places, thou cast them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. Yeah, at the end all be all, man, they're going to be taken out, you know, it's going to be a quick fall for them, you know, they're going to fall, you know, rapidly, you know, all in 1 hour, you know, really, all these curses are coming upon them right now, man. You know, they all blessed right now, but what? All this is coming down on them right now. We're going to close with this, Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, and Yahawah thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And that's what you're seeing now, you know, so-called white man is being called out and exposed for being a damn devil. It's no longer that he going to be getting away with all these things. Now it's the time for his damn judgment, all right? His sins have mounted all the way up to the heaven. Now the Lord is requiring all the things that he's done. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. You know, I just wanted to make the point, show out certain things that how, you know, there's a difference. We're not in trouble, or they're not in trouble like how everybody else is. All right. There's a difference. You can't be moving like Esau. You can't be envious of the so-called white man that he get away with it. He can do that. I want to go do that. Nah, you Israelites, you got a different law, statutes, and commandments than he do. He going to get punished for all his shit. You know, he's the dude that, you know, you like Ray Ray on the block, man. You mad at the damn police and popped your ass for buying a little bag of weed or some shit, right? But wait a minute. Tron on the block, he the big nigga on the block. Why y'all ain't arrest him? Yeah, we know he the big nigga on the block, but we mounting up cases on his ass. See, you gonna just get caught and you gonna go to jail and you gonna get right back out. You gonna just bail out tomorrow. This nigga, we trying to get him on a federal case, so don't be worried about him. We gonna get him. When he get caught, he never getting out of jail. You gonna bail out tomorrow. All right, so don't be envious of the damn wicked because they're not in trouble like how we are. All right, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Lord, willing, this was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And citation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.